Hello and welcome to the Music Survival Guide, the independent musician's guide on how to survive in the music industry. My name's Phil, a mixing and mastering engineer. Hope you're doing wonderfully well out there this lovely, maybe not lovely, I don't know, I'm recording this in the future, but this lovely February day. I hope it's all going really rather well for you. I'm discovering, much to my detriment at the moment, that having a toddler, you can just pick up colds and coughs and sneezes like that. It's incredible the amount of times I got ill this last year. But let's not dwell on me. Let's not worry about that. This week, it's an interview, so I'm chatting with all the members of This New Dawn. They all got together in one location and were passing around microphones. It was a bit chaotic, but it was really good fun. And if a little bit of microphone kind of noise annoys you, then this maybe is not the one for you. But it's really good, so stick around, honestly. So this week we talked about demoing music in the rehearsal room, or why they like to do it that way. We talked about the band WhatsApp and how it's used and sometimes abused, especially for Xbox. And of course, we were talking about writing lyrics on the bus. Where else would you do so? I'm just going to say, on with the interview. So today on the podcast, I am joined by all of This New Dawn. How are you all?
Hi!
Very good.
Very good, thank you.
Tired? Oh.
Not a fan.
We conquered the tech.
Well, yeah, tech is... we've had a long road to get to this point of recording, dear listener, but here we are, and we've made it, and it's all currently working, so all is well. So my first question for you, as always, is from an online random question generator. So my question for you is actually, it's not a serious one, but it's kind of a bit more serious than sometimes. Do you think people will still carry cash in 20 years' time?
Oh, I will definitely have a lucky penny in my pocket.
I hope so.
That's for sure.
Yeah, my money's on not.
Probably not.
I think in like certain circumstances, there'll be like an old timey sort of place that you go to where like the whole joke is, haha, fake money. It's like an experience.
It's being ruled out.
Oh, like real life Monopoly. Like, oh wow, let's use real cash today.
Yeah.
But like Ash said, I think maybe like in a novelty sense.
Yeah.
You turn up to a bar, you spend.
You tap your card or your finger. It's probably going to be an implant or something.
Then they give you the cash.
Yeah.
Then you can spend it with them again.
Yeah.
Yeah, like poker chips.
But how else are you going to like slip the maitre d' like a fiver to get a good table? Are they going to have like a special contactless
No, but maybe cash will be the new gold. It'll be like gold. Like it'll actually be worth something.
But
anyway, after the inevitable nuclear war, we're going to be using bottle caps anyway. So
yeah, true.
I mean, I do have to point out, coins have worth, but notes don't by definition.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Is it? Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad
because it says I owe the bearer.
Wow, okay. Well, I'm glad we've established that.
We know.
So my first real question for you all, and I guess you can all take it in turns, is how did you all get into music in the first place?
I mean, I think deep down it's because my dad played piano, so I kind of learned that off him. But then when I was having piano lessons, I started getting into singing, and I'd make my piano teacher do like scales with me instead of teaching me piano. Vocal scales, that is.
just measuring flour.
La, 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 la. Yeah, I just wanted to know how long things were.
I think I just liked music, and I just thought, I'll give that a go. Yeah. And I think I always secretly, I've said this today a few times, I secretly want to be a drummer, but I never did. So now I'm a guitarist / bass player in this band. But yeah, I think I just picked up a guitar because I just saw music videos of bands that I liked and people that I liked, and thought, well, I'll give that a go, and I did. So
here you are. I'm going to edit out all these awkward transitions.
We're not awkward.
I don't know.
I started playing when I was a kid. An old friend of mine came down when I was about 12 and said, "Do you want to play drums in a band?" I said, "I don't know how to play drums." And we went out in the garage. He had a guitar, and I started banging on a piece of hardboard.
As you do, that's it.
Yeah, and that's literally.
I think that's how Dave Grohl started as well, right?
I don't know. Probably, but yeah, just very sort of simple, and played ever since. So.
Nice.
I mean, yeah. Look, so for me, I got into it. Weirdly, I used to be like well into sports. I got ill, collapsed on a football pitch. Obviously, couldn't play sports
Dramatic.
anymore. Yeah, that's it. This is where the violins come in.
Yeah.
This is the sob story. So essentially, I got ill. I couldn't, do any physical sort of activity for quite some time, and just naturally thought, guitar, complete 180 from sports. So then, it was just kind of, early Guns N' Roses, Black Sabbath, and I got ill, did a 180, and decided to, give music a go.
Fair play. So guitar is the opposite of sport.
Better than my story. Mine's like, I saw music, so I did music.
I could do that.
Still good though, yeah.
It's valid.
I mean, like you, Ashley, I had aspirations to play drums, and then I tried, and it was too hard, so I picked up bass instead. I really did. So I feel you there. I feel you.
I feel like you got to have the room to do it, and also you got to have neighbours that you hate.
Yeah.
Just
You also have to have dexterity, and that kind. I don't do. No, not for me.
And spatial awareness.
Have all of those.
Quite a lot of stuff, really, actually. Good on you, Dave.
Yeah, I'm terrible at that. So, how did you all get together? How did you end up as a band? How did you find each other?
The beginning.
It starts
Chapter
with
1.
Graham and Dave.
No. So essentially, me and Dave have been playing music before this for like maybe 6 years.
Yeah, it was about 6 years.
That's it. Yeah, it was about 6 years, and after, we were genuinely in the studio pretty much every once, twice a week.
Oh, 2 to 3 times a week. Sometimes.
Just recording music.
Yeah.
Writing things
really in the
spot.
recording studio, isn't it? With a few rehearsals sprinkled in here and there.
Yeah, that's it. And I think after 6 years of, I suppose struggling to put it together,
constant recording. Yeah,
loads of songs. Eventually, I think we just decided to jump ship and start something new. So we pulled Ash in, who was going to come into the previous project.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
It wasn't like really the time, and we didn't want to bring him into something that was kind of that crazy. So
we had to get away.
Essentially, we had to run away.
Yeah.
And we started something new, and then I think we were auditioning. No one turned up, and Issy was the only one who actually bothered. So.
Yeah.
Also, I was like, what shall I learn for the audition? Thinking they'll be like, just a cover. And they basically sent a demo for Regret. Like,
is that what it was?
Our first thing. Yeah, it was.
It
It was the instrumental to what ended up being our first single. And basically said, write lyrics to this.
Oh.
So
right.
I had,
No messing around.
Yeah, literally write, sing it. Yeah, and then I ended up writing it on the bus on the way there, and it was pretty good. The bus ride was about an hour long.
How many of those lyrics that you wrote on the bus made it in?
All of it, yeah.
Wow, fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, I did have like sort of bits, I guess, beforehand, but it came together on that bus on the way
Wow,
there.
I think I'd find that too much stress, but there we are.
I love buses.
That's not my. That's
They
not
love
my
me
point.
singing as well.
Fair enough.
They love me singing on the bus too. Do you like this? Yeah.
So you got together. You had some lyrics for this song now, and you get together and you kind of get going as a band, I guess. What was your first gig like together? How was it? Was it good, bad, or?
Yeah.
It was great. It was great.
No. So the first show was at the Fighting Cocks in Kingston. I mean, I think it's I'm not trying to be arrogant or big-headed, but we did we sold about 98 tickets, I think, for that show.
It's quite impressive for a first time.
But we really pushed. It was family, friends, people who are just into that sort of music anyway, and also it was just pulling in a few favors, begging people, reassuring them that it might be good.
Yeah.
and yeah, so to be fair, we were quite privileged and lucky.
Absolutely.
I think with our first show.
Yeah, definitely.
Did it all go well, or?
I had a horrendous stomach bug, so
This is all the things
I
that
almost
actually
was.
happened.
I was thinking the night before, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to play. And fortunately, I got a bit better, and we had our own sort of like private side toilet, which I was very thankful for.
This is graphic. And so I had a bathroom incident too, and I got changed.
God, yeah.
My outfit was a play suit, and then I put it on, and then I came out, and I was like, yeah, look at my outfit, and the zip had busted out the back. So I ended up having to wear what I came in, luckily, which was a matching outfit.
That works.
But yeah, so outfit doomed,
Do you
stomach
remember?
doomed.
I couldn't find my stick bag right before we went on stage. Do you remember? Yeah, that was. But after the gig had ended and everything had cleared, it was just like right next to me the whole time. But it was fine. It was fine. I had to borrow like pairs of drumsticks, which was really embarrassing. And I remember like one snapped on the first hit of the first song. It was just great. It's great. Yeah, but we made it. We made it. We made it.
Wow. Well, I mean,
It was eventful.
it sounds it. I mean, you know, to be fair, it's all stuff that largely happened off stage. So at least there's that. But I mean, have you had any? Maybe aside from this one, have you had any like nightmare experience gigs where everything's gone wrong, or has it all been quite plain sailing so far?
Oh, you know what? Nothing has been easy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no. I think we've had our fair share of good and bads. But to be honest, I can't really think of anything specific that was, you know, there's been illness and things like that. I mean, I think we've had a couple of techie issues. I
wouldn't say there's been catastrophes when we played. I've never walked off the stage and gone like, oh God, that was awful.
No.
I've never had anything like that. Yeah, well, maybe, you know, just a few technical issues here and there.
I mean, we had
A few COVID issues.
Oh yeah. To be fair,
On to one of our gigs because it started off not promising.
which one was that? The
The one we weren't allowed to use any of our stuff, pretty much.
oh, okay, fair enough.
Sound man.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was. We suspect he was the DJ that was given an extra 20 quid to do the sound for the bands and didn't really know what he was doing. So.
I see.
Yeah, it wasn't quite a last minute thing, but like I think the venue probably didn't take it too seriously. And I mean, yeah, we sort of ended up having to scarf it, didn't we?
Yeah.
We waited half an hour. We tried to do the professional thing, and sort of let them know that look, we think there's going to be some issues here because genuinely we all had to borrow.
No.
You know, we had to use all the same amps, and in fact, I think he just wanted us to DI just the guitars, not even amp sims or cab emulation. It was just straight into the desk, straight out to the piano. We're like,
It's very odd.
We can't really do that with something that's a little bit heavier.
Yeah. And then other bands messaged me after the show saying that he was like playing songs. I think it was one of the songs they said he was trying to play Sex on Fire. My sex is on fire. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
He was playing that like in between bands playing. So bands would stop their song, like obviously the singer would start saying, and he'd be playing a song.
What?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I've never heard of that before.
It was
So I'm kind of
Wow.
I'm glad we left because I don't know what would have happened
it's
if
good we weren't
that happened to
there.
us. It at least would have been like a look at him being like, what the word I can't say are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people tell me funny stories there, but that
Steve.
sounds a bit harrowing, if I'm honest.
Traumatic, but we're still here,
Yeah.
still going.
Exactly. So all is well. All is well. So I guess moving over the subject a bit, where and how do you guys rehearse? Do you go to a specific studio? Do you have your own place? How does that kind of thing operate?
Well, I'll have to say the name. I don't know. Is this like free?
You can say the name if you want. Yeah.
Okay, it's Pirate Studios. Go on, everyone.
We endure their constant price rises.
Woohoo! So we have to consistently budget and go to smaller. No, okay, it's all good. Yeah, we go there once a week to rehearse and keep on top of stuff. And yeah, the guys will meet up also in between.
We do.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll meet up as much as we can. We'll sort of demo ideas together. Sometimes we'll do them outside of the studio. Sometimes we'll also do them inside the studio.
Yeah.
Just because I think you get a different. As soon as there's a number of musicians playing off of one another, things naturally change. Whereas when you're trying to sit at a laptop, piecing things out to a grid, it just doesn't quite work. So we might start like that occasionally, maybe half the time, then take it into the studio, start pulling it apart naturally. The push and pull of actually having a drummer and things like that.
Yeah.
And then we'll just sort of do pre-production together, and then
A few quiet rehearsals here and there, isn't it?
that's
Sometimes,
work over some of the nuances,
Yeah.
and then pre-production, proper demos, and then into the studio when we can.
So, Graham, are you like that? Do you kind of come up with the principal ideas and then take it to everyone, or is it not quite that way? How does it normally work for you?
Truthfully, most of them happen spontaneously. So I don't I think the only song that I wrote and then walked in with partially kind of done was Regret, right? I think all the other ones were always just, oh, let's just start, riffing. And then, naturally you come up with, a riff and you go, okay, that's kind of catchy. So that's probably going to be the chorus. You're going to, rip it up a bit for the intro. And then, I don't know, just naturally when there's a drummer playing back, how you're going to fall into the verse. So truthfully, I think most of the songs we've done have actually just been in the studio as it's happened.
As I say, I think half the time it's just like someone will be noodling something. Like most of the time, Graham will playing a riff just randomly, and then one of us go, "Oh, that's pretty good." You're like, "Oh, let's do that." And then and it just comes from there.
Well, that's the if I play some stuff, and pretend that I'm just noodling. I can deflect if it's no good, and if it's good, I go, oh, just something that was,
Is that how it works? Is it? You mentally got, right, I've got 10 ideas. It's just no one likes that one. Let's not.
That's it. Oh, well, I was just noodling anyway. So, that's, I was just warming up. It's a scale, I think.
Yeah, the new Just Age scale.
Have you ever liked an idea that nobody else has commented on and then gone back and played it again and again till somebody's noticed?
Probably. No, because that's the thing, right? So, I think I might send something around. And if I don't get much reception, I just assume that it's like, it's probably just...
People don't like it.
I'll put that at the back of the pile. Yeah. I'll put that at the back of the pile and I'll pull that out at another date.
That's fair. So you talked about doing demos and things like that. And I know you guys prefer to go into the recording studio to record rather than kind of doing it yourselves. Is there any reason for that kind of approach when you're demoing your music yourself, or what's your kind of approach to that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it's to also like set our standards a bit for what we want, because if we do a demo as best as we can, then hopefully the person that receives that demo thinks, oh yeah, this is what it is at the moment. And yeah, so if it's not bad, then it can only get better.
Also, having like an outsider point of view is pretty helpful, because like we're all a bit biased in what we do. We always think it's great or bad as well. But then having like someone who is not part of the band then have an opinion and like maybe have ideas of their own on maybe just changing something slightly in an arrangement or whatever, is super handy for recording, because we haven't thought of it, but someone else might have.
Yeah, and selfishly, I think going into a studio for like a solid week, maybe a week and a bit, every couple of years is kind of an experience, that I think everyone should sort of to sound silly, I kind of like to, I'll take the week and a half off and pretend that, yep, this is it in the studio for a week and a half, and
this is the real thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm not that deluded, but it's just, I think you can't, and also having, a producer there who's kind of expecting a certain something, it also sort of just elevates. I think, being in that environment pushes everything up a bit. When you're at home, pre-production and things like that, you're just sort of not phoning it. I mean, maybe phoning it in a little bit, just going through the motions. Whereas, when you're in the studio and someone's hitting record, and all the equipment's around you, and the sights and sounds of it all. I just think it's worth it for a week and a half to get away from just normal day-to-day things and just pretend that it's real.
It's also especially handy when it's normally someone whose job is to like produce music, so they know like all the little intricacies in that we might not, as people who just sort of play instruments and maybe record a bit on the side. When it's someone who like their 9 to 5 is recording and mixing and all that stuff, that insight is super helpful.
Yeah, we do it for fun, and they bring an element of professionalism to it. We hope.
Yeah, they bring us back down to earth.
Yeah.
Was it Jason? Basically, he cut like half of our verses in half.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. On the encyclopedia of words.
Because I think musicians secretly just want to, not record have a super long song, but sometimes maybe fall into the trap of like having it longer than it should be, because like that's how you like it, whereas it's not necessarily the best for the song.
Yeah, Leave 'Em Wanting More is something that we probably took away from the first EP, I think.
Definitely. I'd say
don't milk it.
Yes.
Rein it in a bit.
Don't overdo it. Yeah. But I really grown to like working in the studio. I mean, my God, we did it for so long at one stage. But originally I used to be terrified of working in a recording studio, but now I always look at it as a challenge, and I think it takes you to another level as a musician, because it's not the same as obviously going to a rehearsal, so I think brings like an era of professionalism to yourself, really, and you rise above, and I enjoy the challenge.
Is that kind of I guess I call it a mindset thing, isn't it? When you go, right, I'm in the studio, I've paid to be here, this room is designed for recording, so let's record. Whereas when you're at home, it's like, well,
La 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 la, noodling.
That's what I mean. You feel it when you walk into a recording studio. I do, especially being a drummer. Playing drums in a recording studio is completely different to playing drums in a rehearsal room. Room's different, the feel of playing is different, but I think it takes you to another level, and I think you learn so much from doing it.
How is the band managed? Is there someone who's kind of like in charge, or do you share out tasks between you? How does that work?
Yeah, it's me. No, definitely Graham. Graham's like the band leader, I'd say, in terms of that. Doing all the... Go on, let's hear it from the man himself.
Filing.
It's managed poorly, I think is what she's trying to say.
No.
It's, I do the Charlie work, as they would say. Yeah, no. So, I mean, look, we try to divvy up things when we sort of can, but sometimes...
That's basically you divvying them out anyway.
I try to. I do try to.
Like Graham's, he's got it.
To be fair, I think, the hardest thing is liaison, kind of speaking to everyone before getting back to people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Communication takes ages.
So, even to yourself, Phil, it's like, you'll ask a pretty straightforward question. And then I have to ask everyone, and then you have to,
Oh yeah.
I'm not calling anyone out, but just like, we've all got lives, we're all doing things, so we need to coordinate what we're doing. So
I don't remember it taking a while. If that helps.
well, there you go. You've made me feel better.
Things done like that.
Well, no. Look, the last thing I want to do is disrespect anyone's time. In a professional sense, I just think, I'm not looking to disrespect anyone, and I just think, the more I wind someone up, surely the worse they're gonna, be with me, and maybe just switch off, mentally. Whereas if I'm being, upfront and forward with information and just answering questions, I think they're going to be a lot more happy to maybe put the effort into what we're actually working on, as opposed to just phoning it in.
Yeah.
Have you considered a band WhatsApp? That's my logical answer.
We do currently. It's called Chuggy Chuggy Woo Woo.
And wait, what is it filled
Okay.
with? It is filled with the boys asking each other, when are you going to be on the Xbox? And other things. So
It's not filled
I
with that.
ignore
It's
it
a
most of the time.
Yeah.
So I probably miss a lot of important stuff.
I feel violated.
We've just been outed.
To be fair, I mean, we did try Slack with loads of different channels for here's demos, and here are PDFs and things like that. But that one didn't work either.
No.
So we do have a band WhatsApp.
And
to
we do
be
use
fair-
the group description to put important dates and times in.
No, that's it. I'm just looking at it now. Actually, look, 15/1/25 podcast recording.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the description of the WhatsApp chat.
Yeah,
That's where the important info is.
that's the best place to put it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it's like, when's the next gig? What date
Scroll
is the
up.
one at this?
No,
When are we
it all
recording that
gets lost-
podcast?
It all gets lost in between the boys waffling.
Yeah.
So surely this is the place to have the discussions, and then it's a lot quicker.
But we need you to mediate our conversations.
So me, Dave, and Graham need to have a WhatsApp group without Izzy called Xbox
Yes.
Boys.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you guys, who's on tonight?
You just get an Xbox and join in. That's the
Yeah, that's it. If you get an Xbox, you're not going to miss
That's
out
the
on
other
any of this.
alternative.
I have to write lyrics.
On the bus.
Is that all you do? You just write lyrics on the
All
bus?
he does is
On the
write
bus. I
lyrics.
used to be on the bus with my lyrics. No time for Xbox. Sorry.
Wow, that's quite sad actually.
I like the idea of like Izzy's like, oh, I must write lyrics, and just walks to the bus stop. And just
Grabs the Oyster card.
Just take a bus anywhere so I can write a song.
Write lyrics.
See ya.
So you can get the the Superloop around London now.
Yeah.
What is it, 77?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
SL7, yeah,
Why do I know that?
that's my Superloop bus as well. I think If you like buses that much, you really do need to do the entire Super Loop.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, actually, I must. Yeah.
That's a day out. That is.
Just see what lyrics you can come up
There's
with.
a load of songs
EP
written
number
there.
3 coming right up.
Wow. And then you can put in the credits. You can thank TFL.
The Mayor of
What's
London.
his name for that day? Thank him personally, or thank them personally.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't really know where to take this conversation after the veer into the buses, but there we are. So, so let me take it in a completely different direction. What, in your opinion, has been the biggest success of the band so far? And you can all obviously have a different answer because you're all different people.
I don't know. See, I can't pick one single one because I think, for me, finding a lineup and then just having that first initial rehearsal is an achievement. I think within itself. We've all probably spent time, not playing in bands for periods of time, and we can all maybe take the lazy option and just not bother. So I think, just the first achievement of actually getting a lineup together, getting the first batch of songs together, I think was quite important. Then just the first EP, and also maybe the second one more so, because I think doing the first one is probably way more achievable than actually getting a second one.
Getting the second one,
yeah. I mean, I think most people are probably sick of each other after they've been together through the first EP.
Well, look, I mean,
I've found ways to tolerate you lot.
oh yeah, me too. No, but look, I mean, for me, some of the greatest achievements is just the rapport we have with each other. I mean, I've never been in a band before. I get on with these guys, as well as we do, and I think that attributes to us writing together. And yeah, we got 2 great EPs together. I think we were more than happy with. That's a massive achievement, and I've had some great moments on stage as well. And for me, they're the biggest achievements. And keep them coming.
We're not just bandmates, we're friends as well.
And we can prove that because we did dinosaur mini golf in Manchester.
Oh my God, yeah, there are pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to do dinosaur mini golf.
Oh, next time, Phil, you're coming with us.
Wow, let's go.
100%.
We played a pirate board game yesterday. That's good fun.
We did. And
Oh, I'm a board game nerd. I need to know what
Plunder,
it was.
A Pirate's Life.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Right,
Google it quick.
I thought you were going to say Jamaica. Jamaica's a great board game. You race around Jamaica as pirates. That's all you need to know. It's a great game.
Incredible.
Does it let you
That's
do like?
incredible. I'm sorry.
Are you allowed
but
to
I
do
like
like dodgy Jamaican accents,
That's
or
the
is that
best
not
game.
allowed?
Well, I mean that's a taste thing, I
it. Yeah,
guess.
exactly. Basically, actually, no.
Because Plunder specifically says you have to speak in a pirate voice.
Yeah,
so
that was cool. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that. Yeah.
So yeah, that greatest achievement about greatest band thing. Still being in a band
Yeah.
and together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, how many bands have, a lot of bands split up after a very short period of time.
That's true.
Again, I attribute that to the way we all get on with each other. We all respect the hell out of each other. And there's no one else I'd rather be on stage with.
No one else will have us. So we've found a community
I think
together of outcasts.
if one of us left and then we brought in another person, it would just be a bit weird.
That's it. It'd be like putting on someone else's underpants.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like a 4-legged table.
It works, but it just doesn't feel right.
No, I always think playing someone else's guitar feels weird, so it'd be like that.
That's
It'd be
it.
like having someone else just stood there. Like, who are you?
You're not Ashley.
Who the hell are you? Walk away.
The real journey was the friends you made along the way.
That's it.
Exactly.
Oh.
So answer to that
Once
question
again.
is friendship.
Yeah. Friendship. Okay. That's the
Camaraderie.
biggest success. Wow. I mean, look, that's great. That's great.
You can do anything through the power of friendship.
Oh no, that's too far.
Oh, God.
That's too far. No. No. I'm starting to get a bit culty, if I'm honest, as well.
This
You
new
don't know what you've
dawn.
let yourself in for.
That does remind me when we were googling the band name to see if there are any other bands to find. It was like I think it was like New Dawn, this New Dawn, like together or something. It was. Do you remember? I think I showed you it, Graham. It was like I was a bit worried that people will search us on Facebook and find this like
Or a
religious group.
movement.
Like a cult or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing
Well,
weird
maybe
about
not weird.
meditation, gang.
It did seem a bit weird, but.
So were you going to be called New Dawn and then decided to just add this at the beginning and then that fixed it? Or
Oh no, well we'll get to that later.
well, I want to know now.
Oh well. Wait, it's in one of your questions.
I know, but I've just sort of asked it
you've
now
done
in a
a
more
segue.
natural way.
Is that what it's called?
Don't
Yeah.
let on that we know the
I've
question.
not asked a formal question. I've just sort of
Segue.
casually.
Well,
Cut that out.
well, actually, we really struggled to find a name for ages. We went through a few things like charm offensive.
Charm
I still
offensive.
think that's not bad.
Yeah.
I don't. But, you know.
Oh my
There's
god.
also cloaca.
That sounds like an illness.
Don't Google it.
No, wait, what is
Isn't that a part of an animal? I don't know why.
Well, no, it's
Cloaca. Cloaca.
Yeah, it's a multi-use orifice that birds and reptiles have.
Okay, that's enough.
It was on QI. That's why I've heard of it. Right. Okay.
All right, guys. Well, how about this for a QI?
Involves a bus.
Yeah, the band involves a bus. I was
This
like,
new
"Oh,
bus."
This is a new bus stop. No, it actually came from lyrics.
On one of the songs on our newly to be released EP. Woo.
Newly to be released. Why did you say it like that?
I don't have to write the lyrics. My English doesn't have to be good.
Yeah, true. Good thing it's me, eh?
I thought that lyric was quite on the nose. Is that literally where the band name came from that song? That's fair enough.
Yeah. And then I think we were just running through the song and it was new, and I was singing the obviously the words, and then Dave.
You were recording it.
Oh, I was recording it.
You were doing
They
a
were
very,
listening to me
very,
whilst-
very early recording
Yeah,
of
they were
it.
listening to me.
And you said the name, and I think I was sort of speaking to you. I was going, why don't we just call the band that? There you go.
To contemplate how good
And it was
that
like,
was.
yeah, that's pretty cool, and it kind of just stuck.
Yay.
It's good because the alternatives weren't great, as we've established.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think cloacas are great.
So yeah, shout out to whoever finds it in the song in the EP.
I know where it is, but then I've listened to that EP quite a lot.
And you've heard it live too. You're a true fan.
I have. Yes, I have indeed. Is that what makes a true fan?
Just turning up to gigs, really. Yeah.
Fair. I mean, look, it's only once because I've not had the opportunity to see you again. I'm just going to point that out.
Aw, thanks.
Hey ho.
You've probably had enough of hearing it all now. Oopsie.
I mean, those 4 songs I've heard quite a lot, but the rest of it is quite fresh. So, what? Speaking of an EP, hint. What goals do you have for the next 6 months to a year or so as the band? Where's it all going?
A new video coming out. Well,
Vidya.
New shows.
We've just we've drafted that out, so we need to do that. We're writing again already as well. For I guess EP3.
You want to have a smaller gap between the next EP.
Yeah. We're just gonna keep going. Just gonna go with the momentum. Keep noodling, Graham.
So I mean, in the immediate future, we have obviously the podcast. We're going to have the single coming out a few days after that. That's going to be pre-save, Spotify, all that good stuff. I think the following month will be the actual EP release. The following month after that, we've got a show at the Fighting Cocks.
Yes, that's right.
The actual release of it.
Which will lead to a music video.
That's it.
Another music video.
We've got what? New merch.
New merch.
Yeah, there's a lot. We've got.
That's it. New CDs.
Yeah, physicals.
I mean, really, look, we're not planning too far in advance. We
No.
sort of tend to take it, a couple of weeks at a time. To be entirely
Well, absolutely.
honest.
I mean, we've spoken a lot about recording singles.
Yeah.
As much as we can. When we get a chance to get back in the studio and record. Not to be like too pick and choosy with shows.
Yeah.
But we want to be pick and choosy with shows.
Well, look, I think, we've played our fair share of ones that we probably shouldn't have been at.
Yeah.
So I think just being a little bit more choosy with what we do,
Yeah.
show wise.
Yeah. So Wembley Stadium is perfect.
Absolutely. As we said the other day, it'd be nice to get on festivals if we can this year.
something.
We wanted to do it the last sort of couple of years, but something always got in the way, or we were recording, or we were doing whatever. yeah, or ill or whatever. But that's definitely on the agenda, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I for me, I think it's hard to know what's possible.
Yeah,
Given the climate and just the sort of the industry and how it is at the moment.
Definitely.
So I think we're not really. It's difficult to have massive plans, to be entirely honest. So I think we're just gonna, a couple weeks, couple months at a time.
Definitely.
Small victories.
Yeah, small victories.
The little wins.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, if I've been organised, there will be a pre-save link somewhere in the. I'm pointing downwards, even though no one listening to this can see. But there'll be a pre-save link somewhere in the description of this podcast. So go and have a look. And if I've forgotten, I'm terribly sorry. But I'm going to say it'll be there because it'll be out. I think days after this podcast comes out.
Yeah. Literally, I think 2 days from.
Yeah, sounds about right. So do it, or else. I've seen you twice. I've just realised I've seen you twice. I saw you in North London.
Fiddler's Elbow, yeah.
New Cross Inn.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where, with Levere and.
So I'm certain.
No. New Cross.
No,
Inn.
it wasn't Fiddler's Elbow. It was some random place.
I'm certain.
Was it?
Yes, because I'm certain
Have I
I
seen
offered
you
you a
3
Jaeger bomb
times?
at Fiddler's Elbow.
I have
See,
seen
was
you
that
3
forgettable?
Well, I remember the one in North London because it was a hell of a long way and it was also bloody cold.
And there was nothing really around there, just like one coffee shop.
No.
Yeah, and
A train
it was
station.
pretty naked, wasn't it? So yeah,
North London's weird.
it is very arid.
Arid. Wow. That's not a word I've ever heard used for North London. Well, there we are. Arid. I'll bear that in mind. So, we're here already. My final question for you, I know, is what is your best piece of advice for bands nowadays? Big, wide open question. Everyone's got some advice somewhere.
Do you know what? I have none, and that's the problem. I think I spent quite a while stressing, about a lot of things. And I think I completely failed to just enjoy what was happening day to day, enjoying the journey rather than kind of constantly worrying about, what sort of milestones we're hitting and things like that. So, I mean, just personally for me, I think what I would tell myself, and I think naturally what I would tell other people, is probably just to enjoy the things that are happening around you as they're happening instead of, thinking about the next step. It means that we don't plan too far in advance because we're sort of just enjoying it as it's happening.
Yeah.
5-year plan.
But I think, that's it. Don't, I mean, look, it could be completely the wrong piece of advice, but I just think, enjoying it as it's happening. Try and be present in what's happening. Don't sort of concentrate on the milestones too much because then I think you get a little bit too wrapped up in them. And if you're like me, I think you just stop enjoying it, to be honest.
Yeah. I'd say to bands maybe coming up or whatever, don't do what the band before you was doing. I'd say be true to yourself, really. Don't listen to everyone because there's a lot of people out there who give you a lot of bad advice. A lot of people tell you can't do it as well. I'd say just be true to yourselves. Enjoy it, as Graham said as well. I see a lot of bands out there now. They're, when I first started playing in bands, it was like the early 90s. And everyone was a little bit different now. A lot of bands sound the same out there on the scene, I find. Especially the heavier bands. Not saying they're bad bands or anything like that, but they all sound the same. But that's cool, if people want to do that, that's cool. As long as they enjoy it and they're true to themselves and they're having a good time doing it. Because if you ain't having a good time doing it, you're doing something wrong. That's what I say.
Yeah,
Still trying to think.
What to think?
I had something in my head. Now I'm just thinking about buses. If it gets too much, sit on the top deck of a bus. I just realised,
Do you really like buses that much?
Right now,
I mean, really?
Um,
Don't know what to say.
Buses, I swear
Oh
you
gosh,
said
yeah,
something
probably
when we were in
did.
cars, like-
I think that kind of Monster Energy
We
was a
were
mistake.
talking about
But anyway,
buses.
Yeah, we
Cars
were.
great on the bus.
but I think really believe in yourself and keep going for you and like your kind of like dreams and visions, and don't expect things to happen overnight. It all takes a lot of effort and a lot of doing things, and a lot of consistency. Keep at it, and then you'll get to where you want to be. Don't give up.
Yeah, I'd say like be realistic with your goals. So, like, because I think you're setting yourself up for disappointment if you think, this is just going on what both Graham and David said. Really, is like if you're setting yourself too bigger goals that you're not going to achieve in the time that you think it is, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment. So just just set goals that are achievable in what you're currently doing, like we are. Our next goal is to release a music video and do a gig, so stuff that we can achieve. Whereas if we're because we used to beat ourselves up a lot about not being bad on social media, and we just kind of accepted that we're just not social media people, so we just do what we can but not worry about it too much.
Don't force it. If you force it, then it's probably not going to be what you want. If you kind of forcing yourself, not being organic, then you're going to attract the wrong things.
To close out the podcast, I'd like to ask your favourite song from the band, or in this case, the newest single, hint, hint, to play at the end of the podcast. So which song is it and why?
Wasted! On Wasted, that is, I think, the only exception to the writing kind of process that we had, because that was a really old something that I'd written probably like 10 or maybe more years ago. That was like just a random thing I kind of thought of when I was doing kind of acoustic stuff by myself. And then when you kind of write stuff when you're younger, think one day when I'm in a band I'm gonna play this. So I kind of brought that up to the people, and it's changed so much.
And we made her dreams come true.
Yeah, basically with This New Dawn, anything can happen. We made Phil actually writhe in his chair then. He was like, oh! And because it's the title track. I guess that's the reason.
Is that why you like it? Because it's the title one?
Yeah.
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's because it's Phil's favourite.
Okay.
This is my favourite. I mean, it's out in 2 days' time. Maybe that's the other reason why we're playing
click
it,
it,
to be fair.
pre-save it, listen, love it. This New Dawn it.
Tell
flip
your
it,
friends.
Pop it. Uno reverse it.
Well, this is This New Dawn with Wasted. Guys, it's been really memorable to talk with you.
Best podcast guests ever.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, when we back.
Stop, wait. How did it get this way? I've got a feeling this is something I should not say. But I know there's this game we play. And if you read my mind, I'm sure you won't have to stay. I cannot take this anymore. This is too hard to ignore. If you walk out the door, I want you to be sure you're on your own now. I've got nothing left to say. Never thought it would ever be this way. Yeah, and I don't know how I'll make up for those lost days. And how will this all be okay when it was just wasted time? Think twice. Will we ever decide if this is just another jump start of a ride or the end? The cable's breaking then, and if the engine doesn't start up, I'll give in. I cannot take this anymore. This is too hard to ignore. If you walk out the door, I want you to be sure you're on your own